So we're back from the gun range doing the initial firing of the Solo DC 9mm LG, and as you noticed, at the range we went through approximately, well, we didn't go through approximately, we went through 24 rounds of 147 grain and 124 grain ammunition, and we had probably got up to about that would have been about 33 rounds when we switched over to 115 grain, I believe it was, and that's when we had a failure to extract. And so then it was sort of strange after that, because we'd run through a clip of 124 or 147 and everything would be okay, and then actually we were getting misfeeds and failures to fully extract and chamber the next round on really each kind of ammunition, whether it was the Hornady. The Hornady was the worst by far. So we're going to take the gun apart. You're just going to see here and see, did it really get dirty in that amount of firing, or if there's anything obvious as to why we went from shooting the first, let's say, 30 rounds without any issues to then starting having. The recoil wasn't bad, quite honestly. I couldn't tell the difference between the XTP rounds and the regular rounds. For the most part, all the bullets were on target at 75 feet. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have our 8-round mag, and you also notice that the issues occurred with either mag, so it didn't matter whether it was the 8-round mag or the 6-round mag. We did have those failures to feed. And go ahead and make sure the weapon is clear, and it is. Remove that, and then overall you can see some powder build up. I don't know if you can see it in there or not, but there is some powder, significant powder build up inside the weapon. Barrels, so it seems to function smoothly. Let's try that one more time. Spring is fairly stiff, but anyway, we saw what happened. So let's take it apart. Being said, we know it's clear, so we slide up to the detent and we push the crossbar up and out, and then that's the way I typically do it right there. Get just a little bit more grip on it there and wiggle, and out the pin comes. Let the slide forward, pull the trigger, and then comes off the rail. To continue, you press that to take that out, and I don't know if that's an issue or not. Don't seem to have any rub marks where the slide action has removed any of the diamond coat. There's a lot of powder here. The plunger looks to be unmarked, so we didn't get any scratches on it, so it's got apparently a smooth interface. Okay, and so then you twist and remove the barrel, and again, there's no marks where we've started to get any wear or removal of the diamond coat finish on the slide, so the fit must be pretty good, causing a catching point where that drift pin's in there. Well, welcome back. Don't know if it's going to make any difference or not, but as you can see, this rag, if you remember correctly, was completely clean when we started, and you know, so we got a little bit of dirt It was interesting. We found a lot of brass shavings, or found a lot of brass shavings in the grooves in the slides. And what I traced it to, I believe, is if you notice this drift pin that's in here, this is where the bullets will slide as they're put into the barrel. Okay, so I was noticing that when I dragged my fingernail across there originally, that you could literally shave your fingernails with it because it was a very sharp edge. And then also notice that when you drag the bullet, just wipe the bullet across it, let me see if I can get it here, but it was putting some significant scratches on the bullet, and it seems like that's where a lot of the brass was coming from. And we're going to put her back together. So again, assembly, I guess for those, if you haven't seen one assembled before, basically that holds the barrel in, and then you turn the barrel maybe at a 45-degree angle, and it comes out like that. So to reinsert it, put just a itty bitty bit of this Tetra lube on the barrel just for lubrication, and in at a 45-degree angle, roughly back. And then you take the spring assembly and plunger assembly back in, put it back onto the ledge there so it holds the barrel in position properly. Slide the action back onto the pistol. That the hole automatically lines up for the pin. One thing to remember, I don't know if you can see it here or not, but there's a little spring, and that spring needs to go in the fork of the transverse pin, I guess it's called. Okay, so we basically put that in there like that. And then what you want to do is line that spring up in the notch, and then when we push it to the keeping position, then it will just go down in there without putting a scratch, and the spring is in the V. And supposedly what that does, from what I've read online, haven't experienced it myself, but if that spring is not in the V, then after you fire, the slide stop could come up and keep the slide open even though you've got more rounds in the chamber. That's what people have said. Don't disagree with them, because that is what that spring is what holds the slide stop in position. So pretty sure those people that have said that know what they're talking about. So again, let's just make sure there's no ammunition in it. I will tell you that after being cleaned, the function is much smoother, and it doesn't take as much energy to rack the slide. Let's put an empty magazine in it that's been cleaned. Just make sure that the stay open function works properly. Okay, so we got that, and then slide release. And I will tell you, you want to make sure you hold the gun properly when you release the slide, because as you can see here in my hand a while ago, I was sloppy when I was cleaning, and it will bite you. As a matter of fact, it took that whole piece of skin up underneath here, which was a unpleasant feeling, but it was caused by operator error, by not having the web of your hand in the proper position when you release the slide. So note to self that if you want to avoid that, hold the gun properly when you're releasing the slide. So with that, I think we're going to give it another shot at the range, and hopefully we'll have a update on how it functions now that we got the brass out of it and have polished that slide. So thank you for watching.